Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ryal Thomas. This evening, the topic is the working spirit. Now, here we are again. This is what we all must be aware of. When the flesh and the spirit works together, that's when you are at your strongest. That's when you are at your strongest mentally and physically. Because let's just say mentally, of course, because when you're strong mentally and you can see things for what they really are, you do things within yourself to bring about strength physically. So let's take that, for example. Let's just understand that we need to do that in order to strengthen ourselves. It's like someone working out in the gym. People go to the gym for various reasons. Maybe they've had an accident. Maybe they need to strengthen certain parts of their body. But they go there lifting weights, getting on the treadmill, doing things to strengthen their physical parts. So that's, again, what we need to do is to strengthen the harmony between your spirit and the flesh, because sometimes the flesh can override the spirit. Sometimes the flesh, you can see something that you want, and the spirit of you may know that it's wrong, but the flesh, the desire, the temptation is so strong. You may see something you want. You may see someone that you would like to be with, and all of a sudden you start to say certain things. You start to do certain things, knowing that is wrong. Because see, that's the loving spirit inside of you. That's that loving spirit inside of you telling you that you should not be saying this just to achieve or accomplish something that the flesh desires. See, that's where the complications come when you are battling between the flesh and the spirit. Because see, the spirit, again, is always based on love and consideration and care, actually, for the flesh. That's what's happening here. So you have to always keep that in mind when temptation comes your way, because it actually weakens the spirit. It actually weakens the spirit. And like I say, these are just my opinions. These are just my thoughts. It may not hold any weight with you, but it holds weight with me. And I just want to share that, because at the end of this, in my opinion, I'm going to tell you a secret that I have experienced, that I have felt, because things have happened in a positive way to me. And I know it's the spirit of love. It's the spirit of caring for something or someone. Because if it was my flesh speaking, half the things that I get involved in, I would definitely not do. I would definitely not do it. But sometimes that spirit overrides and just say, Ryal, go ahead and do that. If it's going to help someone, go ahead and do it, regardless of what's going on or regardless of how you feel. Just go ahead and help this individual or do this or do that. And it comes right back around. It comes right back around, where someone is actually helping me. So I'm a true believer in things of such. But I want to move into something that's very, very loving to me. I want you guys out there to take inventory of not only yourself, but take inventory of elderly people. Just look at them and see what they offer. Listen to them, because, man, they have gone places mentally and physically that we have yet to see. We've yet to see that. If you look in the eyes of an elderly person that has come up and done things and lived a life of adventure and lived a life of love and a life of disappointments and things of such. Just look into their eyes, and when they start to talk, they talk with concern. They talk with love. They look at you like they're looking through you, because actually what they're doing is they are looking at the spirit within you that's in them. And see, and when they give you advice, they're not giving you advice to make you look good or to make you look bad. They're giving you advice for you to understand what you are in the process of doing or the process of saying. They've been there. They've been there. See, they're getting closer. They're getting closer. See, real close to the relationship, to the spirituality that lies before them. In other words, they're getting closer to the end. And it is my belief that the end is the reward. See, because all of your questions, all of your concerns will be answered in the end. And see, the closer you get to the finish line, you can see, you know what to expect. You know. And see, again, you don't know the relationship between the spiritual part of you and the other part that moves on. Because see, the end, as far as I'm concerned, is not the end as we are thinking about it. It's the end of this journey that brings us to another journey. And see, and that's why I've said in the previous show that, let me just be candid and say it. I'm trying to stay away from this word, but I have to say the word in order to make my point. When death comes, you don't know the relationship that's going on between the spirit of love and the end of this journey. The spirit may be showing you glimpse of glory, may be showing you glimpse of individuals that you have gone before you. You don't know what's happening in the mind of someone who's getting ready to switch over. You don't know that. See, that's why it's so important to bring about harmony between you and the spirit. See, the spirit sometimes is covered up by all these things you have done and you have said and things of such. See, you don't have to cover that spirit up. You know, you need to let that shine. But in order to let that shine, you got to give up a few things. See, you got to give up a few things. You know, the body is designed to heal itself. You know, you can cut yourself and the next thing you know, a scab will develop. See, the body is trying to heal itself. And the same thing can be said about you in the mental state. You being in a mental state, you being depressed. You know, sometimes depression is a mental thing. And depression and stress can lead into physical conditions. But if you strengthen the spirit by doing the right thing, saying the right thing, the spirit kind of protects you. The spirit will protect you from yourself. You have to understand that. We have to understand this because I feel this. I feel this every time that maybe I don't want to do this for that person, or maybe I don't want to speak to this individual. Or maybe I want to go down the aisle when I see them in the store. I don't want to deal with this person today. You know, we all go through that. There's no need sitting around here thinking that we don't. We all go through situations where we try to avoid people or try to, say or do certain things that may not be in the best interest of the spirit of you. We all do it. But I'm here to tell you, sometimes we have to push those negative feelings to the side and say hello. Put a smile on our face. Do you know how comforting that is to the spirit? When the spirit of your soul, when the spirit realizes that you are making a difference in your journey and the journey of others. That spirit is coming in full force now. You'll start giving up things. Your flesh will start not to even be on a fleshly level. You'll start looking at things that you may desire or looking at people that you may desire. The desire will not even be there. You'll just be straight talking, being a straight person. Just, hello, how are you doing? Yes, nice meeting you. By the way, so-and-so, and never give it a second thought. Because, see, now you're being guided by the Spirit. Guiding by the Spirit that was made out of love, not made out of jealousy, not made out of enviness and things of such. It's a spirit. It's a spirit of love that we all are born with. But by the time we get to a certain age and all the things that we have gone through, now we have put so much cover on the spirit, it's hard to even see the spirit of love. That's why we must remove some of the fleshly desires. That's why we must remove it. And you will see in the end that it benefits you. Don't you know, and I may have said this in the last show, but I'm going to say it again. Don't you know when you walk up to someone or you see someone and you go, man, and you talk to them, you carry a conversation, and you walk away, or even while you're speaking with this individual, you start to think, man, I've been knowing this person. Feel like I've been knowing them for years. Wow, that's a very decent person I just had a conversation with. Well, the conversation was so informative. It was so profound. You know, you start to think like that, and that's not the flesh. That's not the flesh. That happens to be spirits. Spirits engaging in recognizing love between the two. That's deeper than the flesh, because the flesh doesn't know you or know that person, I should say. It's the spirit within that brings about harmony to like spirits. Have to understand that. Have to understand that. You know, sometimes you can be somewhere and you can be, sick. You can be heading out, and all of a sudden, you don't know the interworks of the spirit. You don't know what the spirit is dealing with or what the spirit is preparing. There have been times that, someone could be right at the end. But on this journey, they want to see this son that they never have seen. They want to see the daughter that they never have seen. They've heard about the daughter. They've heard about the son. They may want to see their mother or father. They may want to see someone that's unbeknown to you. And all of a sudden, here comes someone. In your eyes, it's a stranger. But to the one that's getting ready to switch over and move on, it's not a stranger. The Spirit has kept you there long enough for you just to witness on this level, on this journey, witness what you've been hearing about, what you've been thinking about. And then here comes this person walking through the door. No one in the room knows this person, or maybe a few do, or maybe a few have heard about this person. All of a sudden, the person that's moving on is not speaking any words. a tear rolled down his or her face. Just a tear. Just a tear of love. Just a tear of thank you. And after they witness that, their eyes close and they move on. That's the Spirit holding you tight for you to get your last wish on this level before you move on to the next level. We must understand that it's just not a world of flesh. It's not a world of flesh, man. You know? It's not a world of it, man. You can sit up here and make yourself believe that if I only meet this person, or if I only had a chance to do this, or if I only had a chance to do that, you don't know what you are getting yourself involved in when you are letting your eyes tell you this is the right thing. You are letting your feelings tell you that this is the right thing. It's because it's a desire. If I only could get this car and it'll make my neighbors think that I'm doing all right. If I could only move over here, I could only do this. If I could only get this credit card. Did you even think that maybe this may be the death of you due to your wants of this car, due to the wants of this house, due to the wants of what the flesh wants? And I'm not saying don't reward yourself of things that you feel that will comfort you. As long as you have your mind in check with your spirit. I'm not saying don't get the things that maybe flesh desires or your heart desires as far as a car, a house, or anything. I'm just saying be in harmony with your spirit. Just be in harmony with your spirit and go out and do whatever you want, as long as you know the foundation is the spirit of love within inside of you, because that's going to make the difference. Let me say this. I don't know if everyone out there have actually heard of monks. Monks are a group of individuals who kind of like, they go off into the wilderness and they kind of like isolate themselves, and their main source of living is to live in harmony with their spirit, is to live with nature, to become one with nature. They try to stay away from stressful situations. They try to stay away from just worldly events. They just live within themselves, and they live with like-minded people. Do you know their life expectancy is 5 to 10 years longer than the average person who's living among civilized society? 5 to 10 years. Can you put a price on living 5 or 10 years longer? Can you put a dollar figure on that? No, you cannot do this. This shows to me the importance of living in harmony with your spirit. This is just one example of living right, feeling right, thinking right. See, we're actually born right. When all this other stuff comes in, when all this other stuff is exposed to us, the hatred, the ripping and running, the disappointments, when all of this stuff comes down on us, man, it makes us somewhat of a pitiful human being. You know, when you are born with such innocence, such love, how can we even explain where we are today when we're looking at the Spirit? All we can say is that things have come on us. It may be situations right now that you're dealing with because of a fleshly desire. You may be in the wrong job. You may be in the wrong relationship. You may be living in the wrong town, the wrong city, beside the wrong neighbor. But you were doing all this because not letting the Spirit. See, sometimes we need to just sit back and think before we move too quick. We need to sit back and think before we move too quick. Because if you give yourself time to examine what you are about to do and stay away from individuals who's giving you negative advice. Or if I were you, I wouldn't do that. Or if I were you, I would do this. Sometimes you need to take time out and think things through for yourself, because only you know you. You can hear a million statements, a million suggestions from other people and never focus on your own, because now you've gotten away from it. You've gotten away from it. I bought a used vehicle the other day, and it was a pretty good vehicle. It didn't cosmetically look the best, but I just needed it as a work vehicle. Everybody was telling me, oh, don't get that, so-and-so, 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 so that's going to do this going to do that. You know, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I just want something to pick up and deliver furniture. I don't need a $30,000, $20,000 car. I mean, I'm the one, the vehicle is not doing the work. I'm the one in the vehicle. I don't care if I pull up with a mule, with a buggy. I'm still going to pick that up and do a decent job, a good job for the client. So the point that I'm trying to make is that if you have your head together and you sit down and think realistically about what you are in the process of getting involved in, 9 times out of 10, the Spirit comes in. The Spirit comes in. Now I'm going to give you the secret I was talking about, and this is the secret. Part 1 was speaking on the harmony that needs to be brought about. The harmony that needs to be brought about in order to see things clearly, I should say, you know, between the spirit and the flesh. Now, part 2 is this. You want to really enhance and strengthen your spirit. Here it goes. A simple word, but not a simple act. Well, it may be a simple act, but it's hard for people to do. It's apologize. Apologize. When you know you have done something wrong, you have mistreated someone, and you apologize. When you go to a person and say, I'm sorry for what I have said, I'm sorry for what I have done, you know, I'm here to ask for your forgiveness. Man, the Spirit rejoices behind that. The Spirit rejoices behind the idea and the fact that you have apologized, because that shows that you have willingly acknowledge a wrong. And that's what the Spirit likes. That's what the Spirit loves, because the Spirit is about love. And the Spirit is not only about the love for you, it's the love for that you project to the next one. And when you apologize to someone, it shows that you care, that you love them, that you have had them on your mind. So the key here is, in fact, apologize for anything that you may have done or may have said. I mean, pick the phone up and just apologize to your daughter, to your son, to your mother, to your father, to a friend. You know, you'd be surprised how you make that individual feel. I want to thank you all for tuning in for part 2 that was titled The Working Spirit. If I can be of any assistance to you, please give me a call, 434-760-8682. Thank you very much. This has been the Ryal Thomas Show.